that there are three very important things in here, which is called as a sine, cos, and tan. And what is the so katoa? And now let's see that. Okay, so is sine of any angle, sine of the angle, if it is a, b, c, or anything, is equal to opposite value. Okay, opposite upon hypotenuse. Okay, cos of the angle would be adjacent value upon the hypotenuse. Okay, and then the tan of the angle is taken as opposite upon adjacent is what I have. Now what are these opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse? Let's see. Now I have the trigonometry usually is applied to the right angle triangles. For the basic learners, it is applied for the right angle triangles. In the right angle triangle, you have a 90-degree angle, because the word itself, right angle, it says. So there is compulsory a right angle over here, and the side which is opposite to it is called as the hypotenuse. What it is called as? It is called as hypotenuse. Okay, cool. Okay, now when I have the hypotenuse given by hyp also, now if we are going to talk about other angles apart from the 90-degree angle, we will be talking about this angle and we will be talking about this angle in trigonometry. We will not pay attention to this 90-degree angle. We are not paying attention to this 90-degree angle is what we see. So then what angles do we pay attention to the acute angles that we have. Okay, Agra. Okay, now these are the words that I'm dictating. Agra is a word that I was dictating it to my child, so don't get worried like what have she said. Okay, now what we are going to do over here is we are going to pay attention to trigonometry, and when we are paying attention to trigonometry, we see that this angles will be called as your x degrees. Let's see over here, they have given this angle and they have marked it as x degrees. So whenever an angle is marked as x over here, then with respect to this x, the values, this side will be called as an opposite side. What it would be called as? It would be called as an opposite side. And why is it called as an opposite side? Because it is exactly in front of it, isn't it? This is the angle that they are asking me to pay attention to, and when I'm paying attention to this particular angle, now this side that stands here, this side is called as an opposite side, isn't it? Yes. And this side which is right next to it, this side will be called as an adjacent side. What it would be called as? This would be called as an adjacent side. No, likho inara, no. Okay, so if I have another triangle like this, they have given me, okay, they've marked a 90-degree angle here, and they are talking about this angle now. So what happens over here? Let's name this as A, B, and C. So BC over here is the hypotenuse. Okay, why is that so? Because in front of 90 degrees it is. And what about this side? This side will be called this side will be measured because of this angle, or it will be named because of this angle, and it is in front of it, so it will be called as the opposite side, and this side is right next to it, and so it would be called as the adjacent side. Okay, so now this is, you know how to mark the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. This is very important, marking the adjacent, hypotenuse, and all. Okay, now over here if you see, this is the angle that they have asked us to find. Okay, and if I'm given this particular angle, now what do? I will mark my opposite and adjacent. So this side is in front of it, it is called as opposite, and this side is right next to it, and it is called as adjacent. Okay, now you have opposite and adjacent. Which one do I use here? So I will write for everything. So kaha and toa. Okay, here opposite and adjacent are here. So this is the tan that I will use here. What I would use here? I would use the tan. So tan of the angle is given to me as x. Tan of the angle is equal to opposite upon adjacent. Okay, so the tan x is equal to opposite is 3 and the adjacent is 8. Pathshala, right? Pathshala. I didn't say no, I said now. Okay, so tan is what I get. Then I have to find the x value. So what I can do, I can send the tan towards the other side also. When I can send the tan towards the other side, it becomes x is equal to tan inverse of 3 over 8. You need to have the calculator to find this answer. And in the calculator, you will press your shift. How would you do it in the calculator? You have to press your shift and then you have to press your tan. Automatically in the calculator's display, when you do so shift and tan, it would give you in the top corner tan inverse of, and over there then you would write 3 divided by 8 and press enter. Close the bracket and press the equal to sign at the bottom. Okay, it would give you the answer. When you do shift plus shift after tan, you first press the shift and then the tan, then you get this display on your calculator. You will get this display on your calculator. Then you can enter 3 divided 8. That would give you the answer, and that is x is equal to 20.55. 6 is given, so x is equal to 20.56 is what would be the answer here. And since this is an angle, so it will be measured in degrees. Okay, now moving to the next question, it is saying that find the value of x again. So x is nothing but the angle here. I can look at the figure and I can say, now if this is the angle that I have, this side is called as the opposite, this side is called as the adjacent, and this side is in front of 90 degrees, so it is called as the hypotenuse. Now what all is given to me in the figure? They have given me an opposite side and hypotenuse side. So is opposite and hypotenuse, so I will use the sign. So sine of the angle, sine of x is equal to opposite upon hypotenuse. So sine of x is equal to opposite is 4, hypotenuse is 8. Then x remains here, sine goes towards the other side and becomes sine inverse, and it becomes 4 upon 8. Now I have to put it in the calculator again. How do I put it in the calculator? I have to first press shift. And then I have to put the sign button on the calculator. It displays sine inverse of, and then you enter 4 divided 8, close the bracket, press the equal to sign, and you get your answer. So shift sine becomes sine inverse 4 divided 8. It is going to be x is equal to 30 degrees. Because it was an angle, you get it as 30 degrees here. Okay, again they are asking us to measure the angle here. This and this side is right next to it, so it is adjacent. This side is right in front of the 90 degrees, so it would be called as the hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse is cos. Cos is adjacent upon hypotenuse. So cos goes as cos of x is equal to, I told you once you are done, tell me that you are done.
You said no.
Now न को औ की मात्रा you are supposed to give.
Double.
Yes, and I said पाठशाला, not पाठशाला. I said पाठशाला. Then write किताब.
Now
X is equal to, again it is adjacent upon hypotenuse. That turns out to be adjacent is 5.4, hypotenuse is 8.7. X is equal to cos inverse of 5.4 upon 8.7. So shift cos in the calculator, 5.4 divided by 8.7, that turns out to be x is equal to 51.63 is what is the angle that you get. Okay,
done.
now let's look at another question over here. I said kitab, it is wrong. Strike it, mark it wrong there.
Oh,
Ki. And where does the bird turn? Write it 5 times, kitab. Now let's look at this question. It is like given like a story song. There's a story hidden in here. A helicopter leaves Bristol and flies due east for 10 miles. Okay, it's leaving and flying due east 10 miles. Okay, then the helicopter flies 8 miles north. 8 miles north. Okay, before landing. Work out the directed distance of the helicopter from Bristol. Direct distance means this distance is what they are talking about, right? So this, if you look at it, it looks like what does it look like? It looks like the right angle triangle where this becomes the hypotenuse. And since they're asking about the direct distance, hypotenuse, so hypotenuse, how will I find? This is the base, this is the altitude. Okay, I will use the Pythagoras theorem. So trigonometry questions comes with the Pythagoras theorem, remember it. First one part will be Pythagoras theorem, the second part will be the trigonometric application in here. Okay, now here the direct distance would be altitude square plus the base square is equal to the hypotenuse square. So it is 8 square plus 10 square is equal to hypotenuse square. That becomes root of 8 square plus 10 square is equal to hypotenuse. Root of 8 square plus 10 square is hypotenuse is equal to 12.8 is what I get centimeters. The bearings questions are taught in year 11, so just leave that off. Okay, now a handle is held 80 centimeters above, the handle is held 80 centimeters above the ground. Okay, it is the handle is held 80 centimeters above the ground. The kite is on a string which is 8 meters long. This is the string of the kite. The string is making an angle of 63 degrees, okay, with the horizontal, okay. Calculate the height of the bottom of the kite from the ground. That means this is the height of the kite, but from the ground, this is the ground. So whatever you get, first of all, this side, whatever you get for this particular side, you will also need to add the plus 80 centimeters to it. Pado, see. Okay, so we are going to add. So first of all, let's mark everything. Now this looks more like a right angled triangle to me, and this is 90 degrees here. So this side becomes the hypotenuse, this side is the opposite, and this is what they have asked me to find the height of the kite from the thing. So it is opposite and hypotenuse, and the angle is given to me here. So I will use the sine over here. Sine of the angle is equal to opposite upon hypotenuse. Opposite, I do not know how much it is, so it will remain opposite only. Hypotenuse is 8, angle is given, so sine of 63 is given to me. The angle, darwaja. Okay, then what I will do, I have to find this opposite, so I will send this here. So it becomes sine 63. First of all, this 8 will go here, so it will go in multiplication. 8 times of sine 63. Always write the number before this number. When it goes here, write it before and then write sine is equal to opposite. Okay, so 8 times of, in the calculator, how will you put it? You will press the 8, then multiplication sign, then there is the sign button that you will press, and then when you do that, it opens like this in the calculator. Okay, 8 times, okay, and then the sign will come like this, sign, and it will open. So you will put your 63 here, 63. Then what you're going to do, close the bracket, and equal to you're going to press. So this would give you the answer. What would be the answer? It would give me as 7.1280 something it is giving. So we will write opposite is equal to 7.13 would be this length. Okay, now when we have done this, this is it. Now why did I ask you to write the number before? Because when you're writing in the calculator, if you first put the sign, it will give you bracket open, it will give you 60, you will enter 63, and then sometimes some students will forget to close the bracket, and when they forget to close the bracket, they will just directly enter into 8, because they have written like this. So sine 63 into 8 they have written, so it will become sine 63 into 8. When they do so, the value will completely change. Okay, the value would be sine 63 times of 8. It would be completely different and it would become 0.587. What did your calculator do? It first multiplied these two values, then it found out the angle for it, and this is the angle that it would get. So that is why you always write the number that has come, and then you write a sign, and then you write the angle here, sine of the angle, cos of the angle, or tan of the angle. Okay, this is what you do.